I went to see The Last Voyage of Demeter last night, Joe.
The Last Voyage of Demeter.
Yeah.
Isn't it Dementor?
It's Demeter.
It's Demeter.
That's the name of the boat.
Okay, nice.
It's Dracula like you've never seen him before.
And now this one is more based on the novel. Is there a boat in the novel?
Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, have you read that?
No.
Yeah, you're crazy if you've read that.
Well, actually, the movie made me want to read it.
Really? Okay.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's based off of a chapter, just one single chapter in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Now, Bram Stoker, friend of the show, welcome anytime.
Friend of the show, welcome anytime.
Author of the original Dracula book.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken with teen vampire sluts. Or any of those various spin-off genres.
No, yeah, exactly. But Bram Stoker, talk about a great name for a horror novelist.
Bram Stoker? That's pretty good. Be a good name for just about anything. Comedian, you could be.
Yeah, it is just a good name in general.
Bram Stoker. It's not good for a politician, I don't think.
No.
And it's not good for maybe a pop star. It's not really. No. It's got to have a guy with some edge. To be called Bram Stoker. Horror novelist, A24 director, perhaps. Bram
Stoker's envelope pushing comedy special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's so edgy, Bram. Yeah. Really pushing that envelope, which raises the question, does the envelope need to be pushed any further? Well, Bram's got the answer.
But anyway, I recommend it. Go see it. Didn't do very well in the box office, so you probably have... It'll probably actually, by the time this episode comes out, it won't be in theaters. So
it won't be.
Forget everything I said.
Oh, now is this a message to the audience or to me to go check out Bram Stoker?
Well, it's kind of for both, because my co-host and the audience.
Yeah, exactly. And well, I mean,
I'm a supporter of cinema, fine cinema.
I also like cinema, and this is sort of an echo chamber, so we share all the exact same thoughts. So, and we hope to find an audience that shares those exact same thoughts too.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Demeter movie. Mm-hmm. Demeter movie. You know what's so great about even if you miss something in theaters nowadays, oftentimes it will quickly go to streaming.
That is true. That is correct, sir.
And that's sort of one of the great joys of the streaming era. You don't have to wait a year for Blu-ray.
Correct.
Yeah.
Although I still like a nice Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, here's why, and this might get a little conspiratorial.
Okay.
But physical media, they can't take that away from you. That is true. That is true. Well, they can. They can.
But it takes more work.
Out of my cold, dead hands.
And they will.
Take my copy of the Demeter out of my cold, dead hands.
They're coming for my goddamn Blu-ray of the Demeter. I'm going to break down my door and take the Demeter out of my cold, goddamn dead hands.
But, like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, a good example of this. On, I believe, a Hulu or whatever streaming platform it's on, one of the fine streaming platforms, they've banned multiple episodes.
Right. They're always taking shit off, and they're.
But now, if you have it on Blu-ray, 4K, Ultra HD video disc,
Ultra HD video disc,
they can't take that away from me until the government comes busting through your door.
Which will happen. All of our articles are about that today. It's happening imminently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, groups like HBO and stuff are just getting rid of their own content.
Yeah.
Like they're getting rid of, like, stuff that, like, HBO originals. Westworld. They're
you can't find it anymore.
Because they're like, the rights are too expensive. And so it just doesn't exist anywhere.
Yeah.
It was, like, one of the most amazing shows in the world.
Well,
like,
the first season.
First season. Yeah. Like, carried away here. Yeah. Boy, did that really fall off a cliff into the...
yeah.
My brother, I would watch it with my brother.
Yeah.
And we both loved the first season.
Yeah.
And the second season, 2 episodes in, I was like, fuck this. I go, this is dog shit. I don't know what's going on.
I was the same way.
And he tortured himself. He convinced himself that he still needed to watch it.
Yeah.
And he muscled on. He soldiered on.
I finished
But he was squinting at the TV every night. It was like homework.
Yeah, I couldn't understand a fucking thing they were doing.
No one could.
Pissed me off.
Oh, maybe
and then
I
it
really-
went for another season. I didn't even attempt for that one.
Forget it.
So anyway, I think they should have taken it off.
Yeah, this is the right thing to do, and they should make no hard copies of it. And they should,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can burn the digital hard copies or whatever they can do to sort of make that completely inaccessible after the first season. Would be
Burn
ideal.
all the film.
Yeah. Just like back in the 20s, just the lead film started on
Just
fire.
tape over it with something else.
Tape over it. You think you could do that with like a 35 millimeter film, like Scorsese's master tapes of like? You think you could just tape over it, like you could just shoot a new movie on the same?
I don't know
Probably not
how
how it
that works.
I don't think
probably
that's
not.
it. Probably not.
Yeah, but a blank tape. I used to love recording things off the TV with a
right.
blank tape.
VHS.
VHS. Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
And then sometimes you would think it was recording, and then it wasn't, and then you would get pissed off.
yeah. I feel like my dad would just record over because you could record over things, right?
Yeah, you could record over my.
None of my stuff stood a chance.
Yeah.
Now, you remember rewinding VHS? That was exciting. All right.
Let's
Before
get
we
into
spiral
this.
out, it was exciting.
It was exciting.
It's also a huge pain in the ass.
Was it? Well, be kind. Rewind.
You want to start? What do you got for me?
I'll start. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, kick us off.
Well, here's something I never did as a. I used to love rewinding tapes, but I never did this as a teen. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Teens are taking over gyms. The adults aren't pumped.
Well, I mean, okay, tell me more.
Well, apparently, free Planet Fitness memberships for high schoolers lift tension over etiquette. So I guess Planet Fitness is offering this thing over the summer for free gym memberships for teens.
Okay. And so they're all abusing it.
Technically they're not abusing it, but they're
using it.
They're using it, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're unruly. They're unruly teenagers.
Oh, so let me guess. They're getting the free membership. They're going there. They're not just working out. They're going there. They're drinking Gatorade. They're texting.
It's kind of a
they're
hangout
tweeting,
spot.
They're hanging out. It's a hangout spot. It's like the hamburger drive-in or the ice cream stand.
Yeah.
It's the summer hang.
Yeah, it's the new summer hang. Anyway, in Orange County, California, Taylor Mason, a 33-year-old high school teacher.
By the way, okay, I thought that was a high school student. I was going to say you couldn't come up with a more high school student name than Taylor Mason.
Taylor Mason is a good high school name. And I guess
And also a teacher name. Go
a
ahead.
teacher name, and I guess at one point she probably was in high school. But she's 33 years old. She's a high school teacher. Relishes her summers without teens. One of her usual happy places is her local Planet Fitness gym. This season, however, she can't get away. Adolescents are filling the gym, and she says they leave equipment in the wrong place, wear jeans and Crocs on the treadmill, take too long to use machines because they're distracted by their phones.
Now, I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that phones can be quite the distraction for some of the youth in this country.
You couldn't agree more, and I think it's a distraction for everybody, no matter their age.
Oh, right, but especially the kids are really...
the teens, you can't. They grew up with the phone. I also think. When did you get your first cell phone?
Well, I got my first cell phone when I was like in 8th grade, or maybe a freshman in high school, but it was a flip phone, and all I could do was call and text on it. And I couldn't really even text all that much, I think.
Yeah, you had to press the. It was T9.
It was T9, yeah. And I didn't get a smartphone till college, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they didn't really have it. I mean, like iPhones came out when I was like my junior or senior year in high school or whatever. But no one had one right away, you know? Like your parents maybe did or some shit.
Yeah. Well,
except that there was always one rich whore that had an iPhone right when it came out.
She's a tan blonde whore. I can picture her. You don't have to tell me about it.
I got a picture of her in my wallet.
But yeah, I probably got a cell phone. I also got a flip phone probably around 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And if I could go back in time to my 8th grade self, if I was an adult and I went back in time to my 8th grade self, I would take the phone out of his hand and throw it in the fucking trash. I think it's the worst thing you could ever give somebody.
I'd take the phone out of his hand and then I put his hand on on a girl's breast and say, "Come on, make some moves, buddy. Come on. What are we waiting for?
You're not gonna find happiness in this."
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think. In Fresno, California, Mary Richards, a 23-year-old auto technician, thinks adult gym members are being too harsh on their younger counterparts. You just sound like a cranky crab apple, she says. At her Planet Fitness gym, she finds the younger groups friendly, if a little odd.
I'm kind of with her. Yeah.
One teen called her mommy.
What?
When she asked him which... I'm sorry. One teen called her mommy when she asked him to watch her weights. His gaggle of friends giggled.
Yeah, he said, "Wash the weights," and he goes,
"Okay, mommy."
And all his friends go,
"Yeah."
This is just classic teen hijinks. If they don't want him around, then get rid of the free membership for... It comes down to
it comes down to the top brass at Planet Fitness.
Who's in charge?
These are the Planet Fitness custom staff.
Sure.
Some people don't like it. Some people don't mind it.
Sure.
I never went to the gym and
never will.
never will. But especially not as a teenager.
Yeah. I kind of would. I would go like play basketball with my brother or whatever.
Yeah, at the local Y, Kansas City Y.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I was never messing with the equipment, like the weight equipment and the treadmills. No,
you don't. I don't think you need to. You ever seen a really jacked teenager? It's off-putting.
It is off-putting. Yeah, I went to school with a couple of them. They were like on steroids. These guys were like juicing.
Yeah,
it's truly like they're big buff guys.
Yeah,
it's scary. It's terrifying. They'd throw my ass right into the locker if I came within 30 yards of them. I mean, I was taking different hallways.
Yeah,
I had my Marauders map, seeing them coming around the corner.
It's no good. But but if I were going to the gym, I think I would probably be anti-teens at the gym. Just because anytime, even if I'm just walking down the sidewalk and I see a group of teens and they laugh, in my head I go, "Oh my god, they're laughing at me."
Yeah, I always knew I looked gay. Yeah, now I know for sure. Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about.
I wouldn't want them there either because they do make me feel insecure and they're annoying, and they get in the way. But at the same time, I have more sympathy for somebody who's just like goes to the gym and is like, "What's about these teens?" rather than like the teacher who's like, "My summers are teen free." Then she's a bit of like a curmudgeon old like, "Damn you kids."
Yeah.
So she can chill.
The extremes on both sides, like many issues, can fuck off. But
exactly.
This is kind of what you're talking about. This is the last paragraph here. In Pasadena, Maryland, Anakin Norton, by the way.
No.
Some kid.
How old is he?
He's 14.
Oh, gee, I wonder who he was named after 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anakin Norton uses his summer pass.
I cannot take that name seriously.
I know, it's brutal.
Okay, go ahead.
He has a cousin, Darth Maul.
Well, he's not Darth yet, but he will be.
Yeah, he uses his summer pass to train for wrestling. Now, I understand that because the wrestlers, they always need to train. There's no off season for a wrestler. But he says he minds his manners and works out alone. He did see 3 teens pestering an adult the other day because they wanted to use the weight bench he was on. Some teens can be a real nuisance, he says.
Hey, you got to be careful when you get an Anakin and some younglings around. Bad things have been known to happen.
Yeah, so
I'm a little worried, honestly.
Planet Fitness might want to keep an eye on young Anakin here.
Yeah, I know Anakin's the best at training for whatever he's doing, but Jesus. I know, It's a little concerning. It's certainly a little concerning. Now, Trent, that was a little glimpse into what the teeny boppers are doing now.
Sure.
Now, on the other end of things, there is and also a not marginalized, but a small pocket group of people that I want to tell you about. Now, let me just see if I can pull this up here. This is from the Wall Street Journal, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it is sort of a national newspaper.
Yeah.
And this headline is, "Where have all the Lindas gone?" Those who share the once popular name still gather together for an annual convention.
Oh, wow.
So if you've ever think about who comes to your mind when you think of the name Linda.
Oh, my Aunt Linda.
Exactly. And everybody's Aunt Linda. Because no one was named Linda before 1945, and no one was ever named Linda again after 1960. There's proof.
Yeah.
There's data that shows this.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of Lindas right there.
Sure.
It was the number one name in
It was
America.
a surge.
There's a surge of Lindas, but now it's down to almost zero. And they have this community of Lindas. So these middle-aged ladies, they formed in the Midwest, obviously, in the 1980s, over a sisterhood shared by many women of a certain age. The U.S. Is stuffed with Lindas. The name saw an extreme boom during the baby boom, fell sharply, and is yet to regain its mojo.
Wow.
Now, I mean, look at these gals. We've got...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the spitting image of a Linda.
Yeah. And we'll superimpose this,
Yeah.
but my goodness, if that's not Linda, I don't know who is. The youngest at the convention that they had this year was 57.
Wow.
And someone was quoted as saying, "We need some younger ones, get some new blood." And that was...
That sounds like they're on the Demeter.
This year's gathering included a ride at the, quote, Maid of the Mist, a silent auction, and a skit.
A skit?
A skit in which the, quote, Man of the Mist suffered a curse that could only be broken by the kiss from the right Linda. Attendees often use each other's last name to avoid confusion.
Well, that seems like a fun old time. Yeah, Linda. It's a good name for an old lady, but if I saw a person my age, a lady on Tinder named Linda,
Go ahead.
it'd give me cause for pause.
It would, but it would kind of turn me on. Imagine just a young, hot girl named Linda. It's kind of a breath of fresh air in a way.
It is kind of a breath of fresh air.
All we've got are, Megans and Sarahs and Courtneys and
Taylors.
If I meet another Taylor, I'm going to vomit. If you're a woman and your name Taylor, I don't want to have anything to do with it. That goes to all the ones I haven't met, all the ones I have met. But so just to give you an idea of how this name has gone, down. So out of 20,000 baby registrations looked at random between the years 2018 and 2022, they found only 2 examples of infants named Linda.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, nobody is naming anybody Linda anymore. But club members are always on the lookout for new recruits. They travel to conventions together. Several Lindas go by van or truck. Often they're T-shirts. Linda Rumpy said she has had success.
Linda Rumpy.
Of course. They might as well all be last name Rumpy as well.
Yeah, they should all just change their name to Linda Rumpy.
They just have the Linda Rumpy convention.
Yeah, the Linda Rumpy. There's only fucking 50 of them left. It wouldn't be that hard. Not that much paperwork. Who's the most famous Linda you can think of?
Well, was the lady who played Wonder Woman Linda something?
Linda Carter.
She's right there.
Yeah, well, that's a drawing of her.
But what kicked it off here was in the 1940s. Well, first there was it was a couple people. They got a boost from Linda Darnell, who's an actress who I've never heard of. But then it was turbocharged, and I mean turbocharged.
Yeah.
In 1946 by the Jack Lawrence song Linda. which I don't know either.
I don't know that either.
But I would love to play it.
I'm sure it's
once we get a guy in a chair producer, will have us.
Yeah, that'd be great. You could pull that up. I'm sure it's a toe tapper.
Oh, I bet it's an absolute toe tapper.
Linda Hamilton from the Terminator series.
Right.
She was like kind of a hot piece of ass.
Right, but also born. She's 60 now, right? You know, she's born. Everyone was named Linda. It was a hot piece of ass in the 80s, in the early 80s.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there is a 17-year-old Linda who's the youngest member.
Yeah.
And she said she's never met somebody with her same name under the age of 40. So it's a dying breed. I would never name my child Linda, but wow, just a flash in the pan of just one moment in America.
Yeah.
You know?
A nail in the coffin for Linda.
For Linda Rumpy.
Let's everyone pour one out for the name Linda.
If you've got an aunt named Linda, pour one out because they're on the way out. No more Lindas.
Tell her you love her because she's probably knocking on death's door. Anyway, well, that's a fascinating story. This is from the Wall Street Journal, Joe.
Oh, okay, the Wall Street Journal. Got it.
Headline reads: Musk plans MRI on upper back. Says he may need an operation.
And now is this Elon Musk or is this a company named Musk or what is this?
This is Elon Musk.
Oh, okay.
Not to be confused with the odor.
Although, how confusing it is.
Very confusing. But Elon Musk does have a brother named Kimball Musk.
Kimball?
I believe it's Kimball.
Jesus.
Who a few years ago tried to open a restaurant in Indiana that was all automated and it failed miserably.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he's an
asshole.
asshole.
Fuck
he's
off.
A scumbag.
Yeah. Why Indiana?
I don't know.
Cheap.
Anyway, I'm just going to read the whole. It's not that long.
Lay it on me.
Tesla chief executive officer Elon Musk said he would get an MRI of his neck and upper back Monday, and that he might need surgery before facing off in a proposed cage match with Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg. Now, have you heard about this?
I have heard about it.
And I heard about it too, and I thought it was all made up.
Okay.
But this is in the Wall Street Journal.
It's real.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I believe Elon Musk proposed the cage match.
Well,
and there's a theory that he did not expect Mark Zuckerberg to immediately agree. And now he's fucked. He's like, I gotta get surgery.
He's making up excuses, yeah. My back's fucked up.
Could you imagine challenging someone to a cage match and then saying, well, I have to get my whole back redone? You came up with it.
Right, exactly. But to be fair, he doesn't look like he has a good back.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah, but anyway, the two tech billionaires have traded barbs, and Musk, 52, said Sunday the fight will be live streamed on X, formerly Twitter.com, with proceeds going to charity for veterans. Zuckerberg said Sunday in a post on Threads that he suggested August 26th for the fight, but that he is still waiting for confirmation. I'm ready today, he said, not holding my breath.
Yeah, because I think Zuckerberg, all he does is like jujitsu and shit. And
He does jujitsu. I've seen him surf. There's that picture of him surfing where he's fucking ghostly white.
I think he's in shape, and that's one of the few redeeming things you can say about him.
Yeah. He is in shape. He's working out with the teens at Planet Fitness.
He's listening to every word that we're saying right now.
Yeah, he's listening to every word. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is in shape, and Elon Musk looks like a fat fucking piece of trash.
He just looks fucked up.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Something's fucked up with that guy.
Zuckerberg sets Musk and Zuckerberg's anticipated face-off underscores a years-long rivalry between the tech billionaires, which came to a head after Zuckerberg launched Threads to directly compete with Musk's X Corp, the renamed Twitter. Musk disclosed the possible surgery in a post on X. The world's richest person, Musk, is also a CEO of Space Exploration Technologies Corp, or SpaceX.
Yeah, we got it.
But he says Musk has long discussed his grueling work hours and said before that his schedule has weighed on his sleep. He has also said he suffers from quite severe back pain.
He puts all his stress in his back.
He puts all his stress in his back. Well, he has a tough job. He's got to call those people that tried to rescue those minors pedophiles, and
yeah,
and he's got to tweet shit at Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I mean, he has to find some of the best memes on Twitter.
Yeah,
well, sorry, X, and then share those around and
then
troll
repost them with no
credit.
No credit to the original person.
The amount of memes and comments and slapbacks that he has to sift through, I mean, it would keep me up at night.
It really weighs on a guy.
It really weighs on a guy. You know?
Yeah. So
making the pivot from science and technology to meme internet fuckboy is a big transition, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and it takes a village, honestly.
Truly takes a village.
It takes a village.
And I just hope that after he gets this operation, we can see the two world's richest men fight each other.
I think we should live stream it. If they do.
Us.
I think we should
we'll
do a live.
We'll have to log into X and watch the live stream, and then we can commentate on it. That'd be great.
Now, I haven't updated mine. Does yours say X? Because mine still says Twitter.
Mine, well, I don't have the app anymore.
I have the app, but I've never updated. It still says Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to log into my account. I'll get it updated.
We'll log into X.
Yeah.
And watch, because this isn't like the sign of the end times that the two richest men are going to fight each other.
I hope one of them dies.
Well, that's, yeah.
And I could care less which one it is.
I want to see them reenact the movie $1 Million Baby. You ever seen that?
I have not.
With Hilary Swank. Spoiler alert.
Actually, I did. I think I did see this movie.
She falls. You know how boxers have a stool that they can sit down in the corner?
Yeah.
She falls and breaks her neck on the stool. So I'd like to see kind of a reenactment of that with actually both of them.
I don't know who I want to, because it would be so hard to watch either of those guys win.
Yeah.
Could you imagine one of them winning? What a nightmare.
I would root for Mark Zuckerberg.
I would too, but I also don't want him to have a victory.
I don't want him to win either.
Right, but something's got to.
Anyway, this is the last sentence. For those that aren't aware, an MRI is a non-invasive medical imaging test that produces detailed images of an internal structures in the body.
Do you ever feel like these people just have like this much room to fill up on the PDF, and they're like, "Fuck, what?
we need 40 more words.
We need 40 more characters." Yeah. Musk, cage fight, MRI. We could give the definition of an MRI. Why the fuck would anybody need that? That's insane. Oh man, there are about 90 extra paragraphs in each of these stories, and I'm like, they really are just trying to fill up.
It's like writing a paper in high school. You don't use contractions. You try to get the word count up.
Yeah, exactly. All these guys are people we went to high school with, writing this paper, and all they grew up doing was trying to just fluff everything up. They're fluff. I'm the king of fluff.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, speaking of MRIs, Trent, which I already forgot the definition of over there, but I believe it has something to do with the brain. Now, some scientists got together, and they have nothing better to do these days but get together and do awesome new projects. Yeah. They were able to reconstruct a song from brain activity. And so what this means basically is according to this, it's a breakthrough. Researchers have gotten one step closer to developing devices that say aloud what people are thinking.
Oh, my God.
With further development, this could give patients who have lost the ability to speak because of a stroke or other brain injuries the power to communicate in a way that sounds more natural and less robotic. So they say that this is for those guys, this less than 1% of the population. Yeah. But we should develop brain reading technology for everybody, just for this.
Sure, yeah.
So neuroscientists at the University of California, Berkeley reconstructed Pink Floyd's classic rock song, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1. using recordings of the brain activity of 29 patients who heard the song while undergoing brain surgery.
Yeah.
Though less polished than the band's version.
Wow, I can't imagine why.
They're just operating on your brain while you're listening to it. The reconstructed tune was recognizable.
Wow.
So they had 30 people listen to "We Don't Need No Education."
Yeah.
Bam, bam. And then they just recreated that, just like pulling it out of their brains.
I don't like it.
I love that they chose this song.
Yeah. Why didn't they choose Jack Lawrence's Linda?
They chose this song, and they also recreated what people were thinking while hearing the song, and the by and large phrase was "far out, man." Yeah, I guess they a lot of people were thinking this is really far out. And I wish I had some pot and chips.
Well, you know what they should try to do next is try to sync it up with The Wizard of Oz.
Well, that's what the whole point of this was.
Yeah.
This was they were playing The Wizard of Oz. 29 people listening to this. Yeah, that would be amazing if they could find a way to sync this up with The Wizard of Oz. But the technology just isn't there.
It just isn't there, but luckily these scientists are hard on the case. I mean, so this is like when I hear about it, it's like this would help like Stephen Hawking not sound, even though he's dead. But
I guess so. It helps that, but
and that's the only guy I've ever seen out and about that uses the computer to talk. I've never seen anybody else. I've never been at the movie theater and been behind a guy who's going, "One for the boy jump the meter."
Yeah, because if you can't talk at all, there's a difference in the smoker guy and whatever Stephen
Smoker guy. Yeah,
but this is like they're working on making it sound better when they should maybe work on making it not cost $280,000 to get whatever fucking rig he had. Dude, his rig must have been like $1 million.
Yeah.
You tell me I'm gonna think and then I'm gonna tap with my one finger, the last thing that can move, and then sentences are gonna come out.
Yeah, we need the one guy that can afford this to sound better.
No, so the technology is there, and we love the price point. We just need to make the product better. It's not about, but at the same time, I mean, you can listen to Pink Floyd, and they can pull that right out of your brain, man. It just seems like something that a guy who would get stoned and listen to Pink Floyd would think what the government was doing.
Yeah.
And it's just funny that they pick Pink Floyd to be the song that they play.
Right.
When every Pink Floyd fan in the 70s was like, they're just trying to read our minds, man. The man's just trying to read our minds, dude. And here they are. They're throwing it right back in your fucking face. Listen to the wall and watch me read it.
Yeah. Well, I'll put on my tinfoil hat and...
Yeah, that actually is. It's funny you say that. The only thing, it said right here, the only thing that could stop this technology is surrounding one's head in a tinfoil cone. So luckily there is a defense, which is why I've been wearing a tinfoil hat every day and every night on the subway to bed. People say that I look stupid, but I beg to differ. See who's stupid when they're getting their songs revealed.
Wow. I mean, I hate to say this, but some of these scientists should be stopped.
We don't need those guys to sound better.
No, and we don't need no education.
We say that again.
We don't need no thought control.
I started to think these scientists are just another brick in the wall.
So, well, these scientists... We might not have to worry about this much longer, these scientists, because young hires, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Young hires of 2023 are ill-prepared.
Who isn't ill-prepared when they get hired to do anything? Okay.
How do I do that? Remote learning left students short of basic skills. So
One thing that I love about the Wall Street Journal is that week after week they have a new story with a different angle, but the message is the same, which is that young people are stupid. It seems to be what they're really trying to get across. Week after week they have a different way of saying that young people are dumb.
yeah, they do, but I also believe it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, the knock-on effect of years of remote learning during the pandemic is gumming up workplaces around the country.
Wow.
It is one reason professional service jobs are going unfilled and goods aren't making it to the market. It also helps explain why national productivity has fallen for the past 5 quarters, the longest contraction since at least 1948, according to the U.S. Labor Department.
How do they measure productivity? How are they measuring how hard people are working?
Yeah, I don't know. They go, productivity's really fallen off. What do you guys have to say for yourselves? Every CEO in every company. Since 1948. I wonder what was going on around 1948.
I wonder why productivity dipped. That's when everyone was working their ass off, right? Maybe they were busy knocking their wives up, naming their babies Linda.
Yeah. Well, when did the war end?
45.
So everybody took a few years off.
I can't blame them.
Yeah. They were done riveting. And
they were honeymooning. That was when everyone was honeymooning.
Yeah. So they have an excuse. 1948. Let them take a few years off. These kids today, I mean, nobody wants to work anymore.
Well, it wouldn't be an echo chamber if I didn't agree. I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to work. Nobody wants to work.
No, nobody wants to work.
And
we actually talked about that in a previous episode.
That's true.
But people didn't have a bunch of options to be lazy in the old days.
Exactly. Yeah.
They couldn't.
But they would have taken them if they did.
Absolutely.
We just have way too many avenues to fuck off and not do our job.
Yeah.
Or to not do anything.
Exactly. We have the phone. We have the video games, home. Even though there's a kind of a video game recession. We can binge watch anything you could possibly think of, unless it's Westworld, and they took that off the.
Except for all of HBO's best and most brightest
streaming service, or if they deem it unacceptable for you to view. But in the old days, really, the only activity they had to do was that fucking stick with a wooden circle with a stick. They had to run around.
They had the stick. They did have jacks.
They had jacks.
But what was different, I think, more now, or in the old days, if you were like kind of just like lazy or like chilling around, everyone yelled at you. Everyone would start yelling at you. They would be like, get a job, get your ass out the door, get your ass to work.
Yeah.
Your wife would get, your mom, everybody in the world would, and they would everyone would shame you. You have to go out there and be productive or you get shamed. And then if you're fucking around at work, then all your coworkers and everybody shames you.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, my mom's like, do you want to move back in?
Well, shame. You're not supposed to experience shame anymore. You can't fat shame. You can't slut shame, which is unfortunate because shame is the only way I can get off.
But that's for another episode.
But yeah, we should bring back shaming.
I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
My grandma was a big proponent of shame, and I think it's a good thing. I'm ashamed right now. Go ahead.
Well, since 2020, when remote learning moved students out of schools and into virtual classrooms, the pass rates on national certifications and assessment exams taken by engineers, office workers, soldiers, and nurses have all fallen. The sharpest declines in scores came on questions measuring those most specialized knowledge. Structural engineers failed to answer questions about the use of trusses in the constructions of bridges and roadways.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
So they go, the most critical parts of what everyone needs to know are the ones that they're...
Yeah.
But aren't these things that... who's entering the workforce and killing it, right? Don't you have to kind of learn the ropes a little bit?
Yeah, you have to let a bridge fall. You have to learn from your mistakes. Yeah.
Well, no one's letting the 23-year-old be in charge of the trusses and the bridge. And by the time they're 45, hopefully they've figured that out, right?
Hopefully so. Yeah, you would hope. But there's There's all kinds of every week now. There's a new train derailment. So
That's true.
I
It
don't know.
seems
I
to
don't
not
have
be
a lot of faith
Neither do I.
in The Apprentice.
Why is there a train derailment every 2 days? I guess we know why. I guess it's these
but yeah.
fucking idiots who stayed home and played Minecraft for 2 years, and then now every train gets derailed.
But it's a good thing we stayed home and flattened the curve.
Yeah, I mean, a few train derailments and bridge collapses is a small price to pay for flattening the curve.
We flattened the curve, and now all the railways are rocky. But it's
Just I just can't remember that critical part of the trellis information. If I just wasn't so anxiety
But it's not
riddled.
just engineers or nurses. In Grand Rapids, managers, Grand Rapids, Michigan,
Got it.
managers at the John Ball Zoo
No.
are coaching seasonal workers.
John Ball's Zoo?
John Ball Zoo
Oh, okay, got
are
it.
coaching seasonal workers in their teens. Seasonal workers in their teens and early 20s on basics such as why it's important to look visitors in the eye and how to make change at a cash register.
Jesus Christ.
Now I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
I could never do a job at a cash register.
I
So-
did one, and I'm not great at it either.
Yeah.
And I would get embarrassed sometimes when this was because the machine would do it all for you. Tell you
Yeah,
exactly
but
what
you
to
have
do.
to count it
But
out.
sometimes somebody would go, I found a dime.
Oh,
And then I've already done the thing, and I go, and it's the most basic arithmetic. I'm adding 10 cents to what he already gave
Yeah.
me, and then I'm going to give him a full, but I would freeze.
Oh,
I would freeze, and
yeah.
he would look at me, and I was 16.
Yeah.
And he'd go, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, they have no patience.
No.
Yeah.
And then, but I think it's also part of being young. You're scared, you're rattled.
You're scared.
You're scared. Maybe they'll become less scared as they grow older, but probably not. Probably not.
Probably
it's probably
not.
just a permanently ruined generation, including our own.
Yeah, there's no salvaging it. But so I can't judge them for not counting change, but I can make eye contact. But Charity Fields, these names
We'll soon be working at Pumps in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Charity Fields. She's 19 years old, works in the gift shop of the zoo.
Yeah, she'll be stripping soon.
And says she is frequently surprised by the lack of motivation of her younger coworkers. A few days ago, a 16-year-old fellow sales associate sat in a chair reading a book while customers shopped. I told her we weren't really supposed to do that, Fields said. The girl got up, stood near the cash register, leaned on the counter, and continued to read. But
Here's-
at least she's reading.
At least she's reading. And
Yeah.
also, if I'm in a gift shop and the person behind the counter is reading a book,
Yeah.
I could give two shits less. As
Yeah.
long as when I'm ready to check out, they're ready to ring me out. Now, if they're not doing that, then I have a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, they shouldn't be forced to stand there and stare into the distance. Good Lord. Let them read a book. Reading's good. Reading's better than anything.
If they're I'd much rather them be reading than staring at their phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing Candy Crush. But I worked at a restaurant. I have firsthand experience in the teens being assholes department at a restaurant. I worked at this place called Roscoe's Tacos.
Oh, yes. Roscoe's Tacos, friend of the show.
Welcome anytime back in Indiana. And we had this guy we hired. He was probably 16. And the first day of work, he asked me, Trent, he was like one of the most off-putting guys I've ever encountered in my life.
Okay.
Just greasy hair and disheveled all the time. And he mumbled everything. But the first day he comes in and he goes, Trent, do you know anything about computers? Mm-hmm. And I'd been working there a long time, so I was already kind of, jaded.
Okay.
So I go, no, not.
Yeah. I don't want to just fuck off.
I don't know anything about computers.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh, well, I was trying to, I was going to build a computer. I just can't find this part for the computer that I need to build. And I look at him and I go, I can't help you, man.
What do I look like? Albert Einstein?
Yeah, exactly.
Build a computer.
You're
What are
my
you talking
Oppenheimer.
about? Yeah.
So then the next time I work with him, he comes in. He goes, Trent, do you know anything about finance? Again, I go, no, I don't. I don't know anything about finance.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know stuff, but I don't know stuff like that.
Okay.
It's like, who gives a fuck? You know?
Finance and building computers?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to make money, gives a fuck.
Yeah, well, I don't. Couldn't be less interested.
No, you were a taco man. You knew
through-
about beef and chicken.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
some pork.
And tostadas.
And tostadas.
By
By the way, I hate to do this right now and interrupt the podcast, but you have a smudge on the other side.
a smudge? You
It
think
just-
it's newspaper ink?
It might be, yeah. It's a big smudge right there.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how long it's been there. I just noticed it. Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to want to spit on your hands and rub it in. You're going to really get some lubrication.
Cut this out.
We'll cut this out. I'm sorry. I couldn't let you go on like this. I just noticed.
So he comes in, he goes, Trent, you know anything about finance? Again, I go, no, I don't know anything about finance. And both are true. I don't know anything about computers. I don't know anything about finance.
Right.
So then he goes, oh, because I was going to ask if you wanted to loan me $300 and I would pay you back with interest.
What? What an asshole.
I go, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Sounds like you don't know anything about finance.
Yeah.
If you need me to loan you $300.
Well, it sounds like you don't know anything about computers and you don't know anything about finance. You can't find the part and you don't.
You have no money.
Yeah, we have the same job. I make a little bit more than you since I've been working here, but not much.
Not to have $300 to give away to the guy who has the same job as me.
Yeah. So it was the second day I met you. So a 16-year-old, I'm gonna trust you with figuring out the interest rate.
So he's 16. He's 16.
Yeah, he's.
And
16.
you're like 19.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. Right.
So I go, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So then, that was like he kind of got the idea, and don't ask. I'm just here for the paycheck, baby. I don't want to be friends.
I don't want to be bothered with, trifled with.
No desire to hang out with anybody outside of work.
Yeah.
So he continues working there. He's very rude to the customers and the people he works with, and he's got real anger issues. Anyway, he ended up joining the military, but he got dishonorably discharged. He lasted a couple months. But one day we had a little door that kept the tortillas warm.
Right, the tortilla door.
Yeah, the tortilla door. It was a drawer. You kept the tortillas in there,
Okay.
and it was calf level.
Got it. A low to the ground tortilla door.
Yeah, and I'm on the front line. He's at the register interacting with the customers. I guess somebody pissed him off. I have the drawer open. He comes and kicks the drawer shut as hard as he can.
Okay.
And I go, yeah, don't do that. And then he mumbles something under his breath. So I took a hard shell taco and I threw it at him.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
did you say, hey Gary, do you know anything about hard shell tacos?
no, I wish I did, but I threw it at him. And
That's
then
amazing. That's got to feel so.
It felt great. And then he got a broom and swept it up.
And then you were on. And now we're on. Did you guys wrestle to the ground?
No, he got a broom and swept it up.
Oh, he swept it up. I thought he was going to hit you with a broom.
No.
Oh, so he seated.
Well, yeah, I showed that I was the alpha and
Right.
he was the beta.
Right, exactly.
And anyway, he joined the military and got kicked out. I don't know for what, but probably
Probably slamming drawers,
Yeah.
trying to borrow money, and being a bitch.
Yeah.
Where is he now? He's probably going to hear this and come kill us. Why did you tell the story?
Well, his name was James.
That doesn't help.
I don't know where he is now,
Yeah.
but
What launched
I
you
wish
into
him
the
well.
story? I don't remember. What were we talking about?
We're talking
Teenagers?
about these
The teens.
the teens and young adults who went to college and don't
Right.
know anything,
Right.
and entering the workforce, and they're reading and texting and stuff.
Now, I would often go high into my job
Yeah,
when I worked at CVS Pharmacy.
yeah,
I used to have a bit of it. This was my first joke ever that worked, but I would go high in there and I would ring people out or whatever.
yeah.
And I had a guy, and you have a small panic attack when you're like, okay, I can just scan the thing, I can do this, putting it in the bag. And then a second guy got in line behind him, and I got on the intercom, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to need some backup.
For two people.
Yeah. This is the first bit I ever had that worked.
That's really
Bring
funny.
it back. All right.
All right,
I'm Joe, signing off.
and I'm Trent signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's end it completely differently every time.